Bank of America is a multinational banking and financial services corporation headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. Bank of America is the second largest bank holding company in the United States by assets.
Listed on the Bank of America website, their mission statement is, "At Bank of America, we embrace the power of our people and value our differences in thought, style, sexual orientation, gender identity, culture, ethnicity, and experience, recognizing that our diversity makes us a stronger company."
Some things we look for when establishing our criteria for a diverse organization were the ratio of minority to non-minority employees, the ratio of minority to non-minority hires, and the efforts made to include minorities in the hiring process, specific training programs in place for minority groups, the degree of minority feelings of inclusion, their supplier demographics, how they meet the needs of diverse customers, and efforts made to improve work-life balance for employees.
Based on our internet research findings, we concluded that Bank of America has many important diversity programs in place. Diversity efforts are measured just like any other business initiative. Bank of America addresses the issues of many minority groups with different opportunities and support systems tailored for each minority.
In regards to people of color, Bank of America partners with professional organizations like the National Black MBA Association and historically black colleges and universities to attract the best and the brightest. As a result, 55% of new hires were minorities. In regards to supplier relations, Bank of America spends close to $500 million on African American suppliers. Bank of America also holds its suppliers accountable for paying it forward by assuring that the suppliers of the suppliers are also minority groups.
In regards to women at Bank of America, more than 47% of officials and managers at Bank of America are females. Women account for more than 39% of the professionals at Bank of America. Out of the top 11 bank executive positions, 4 of them are females.
Bank of America's My Work program allows its employees to manage their work-life balance, with options such as flex time, compressed work weeks, telecommuting, and phase-ins. It is clear that Bank of America wants its employees to be able to manage both their personal and work lives.
In regards to LGBT employees, Bank of America is one of only a handful of companies that track its use of gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender suppliers. Bank of America is also one of the first banks to offer domestic partnership benefits in 1998. This paved the way for many other corporate banks to follow suit.
As shown through information found on the internet, Bank of America promotes a very diverse image. In addition to the internet search, we also visited 2 Bank of Americas to interview employees and observe their diversity firsthand.
We visited 2 Bank of America locations. One is on Easton Avenue, and the other is on George Street. We spoke to the manager at the George Street location and a teller at the George Street location who has recently been transferred to a location in Newark.
When we arrived, we took note of the demographics at both locations. At the George Street location, there were 2 white male tellers, 3 female tellers who were Pakistani, Portuguese, and Indian, and white women who were the store manager and customer service representatives. At the Easton Ave location, there was 1 black male, he was the manager, and 3 females as tellers who were Asian, Indian, and white.
When interviewing the manager, we learned that diversity in the work environment training is done online for all employees. In order to meet the needs of diverse customers, many of the tellers were fluent in Spanish speaking. Also, materials and helpline were in different languages to accommodate to the needs of all customers. Flex time and child care programs are put in place in order to assist employees with families.
After interviewing the teller, we learned that gender diversity and inclusion at Bank of America was present, but not racial diversity and inclusion. During her 3 years of working there, she only saw 1 person of color in a high position. This shows evidence of glass ceilings within the company. We also learned that Bank of America has a high LGBT diversity. Though the George Street location did not have any LGBT employees, all of the men in the Newark location identified themselves as being part of the LGBT community.
In regards to our online research and in-person meetings, we made the following connections. The manager seemed to see the company as very diverse, while the teller did not. The manager also lacked a thorough understanding of Bank of America's diversity programs. For example, she did not know what LGBT stood for. She was not informed on supplier relations. She was not informed on minority hiring practices. And the manager's response for many questions were to contact Human Resources, but was also unable to provide a phone number to Human Resources.
One area that we decided Bank of America could improve on would be its disability accommodations. In 2011, Bank of America was sued by the EEOC for firing a legally blind data entry worker after 1 day's work because of his disability, refusing to provide him with accommodation. Similarly, in September 2013, Bank of America allegedly refused to provide an American Sign Language interpreter for a deaf employee when she requested one as a reasonable accommodation.
The second area we decided that Bank of America needs to improve on would be its communication. In a recent survey, participants were asked to anonymously rate the diversity effectiveness among white male leaders in their companies. 45% of white men gave a positive rating, while only 21% of women and people of color agreed. Alongside our manager interview, this showed that there wasn't enough communication between human resources and the lower level managers in regards to diversity practices.
The final area that we decided Bank of America needs to improve on is their executive board diversity. Although there were 4 women out of 11 on the executive board, they were all white. The other 7 executives are all white men. This shows that there is a glass ceiling at Bank of America keeping people of color from rising to the top of the organization. This is similar to what the teller reported, minorities staying in lower positions, which is also known as sticky floors.
Based on our findings, we have concluded that Bank of America has strong diversity policies in place at the middle levels of their company, mainly because there are many opportunities and strong support systems for employees to grow and benefit from, as well as strong levels of diversity with regards to new hires. Unfortunately, these benefits from the diversity policies are neither trickling down to lower level employees nor raising middle level minority employees to the top. This shows that Bank of America needs to improve its communication throughout all levels of management.